Good evening and welcome to Superscreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos State, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onka. Many thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari and French President Emmanuel Macron have signed a number of agreements on projects worth $475 million. Both countries signed the agreement today after a meeting at the presidential villa Abuja. The report says the agreement centers on some projects in Lagos State, Kaduna, and Ogun State. The Lagos deal is a letter of intent for the financing of urban mobility improvement projects with a loan of $200 million. In Ogun State, a French firm, in conjunction with the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, will mobilize from investors about $200 million for land reclamation to correct the massive degradation of arable land. And now the French President Emmanuel Macron has urged Nigerian youth to be actively involved in politics in the country in order to change the narratives of the nation. Macron, who disclosed this during a visit to the Africa Shrine in Ikeja, said only Nigerians can change their image and that of the nation before the Committee of Nations. He also said the future of Africa and the task of making it great rests with Africans, stressing that youth have a crucial role to play in the quest. According to him, politics is important because it is a tool to change the society at large. The Senate has directed its Committee on Constitution Amendment to resubmit the bill on state and community policing within the next 2 weeks. The lawmakers, who spoke during a debate on the killings in Plateau and other parts of the country, insist that the only solution to the heinous crimes in the country is to establish state and community policing.
The security challenges confronting our country with reference to some communities in the Plateau North and Central Senatorial Districts have become intractable. Also note the communities in Barkin Ladi, Riom, Josau, Bassa, Bokos, and Mangu local government areas have been under persistent violent terror attacks from herdsmen, which have led to the murder and the displacement of many people. Worried that the recent attacks, which took place between Friday 22nd and Tuesday 27th of June 2018 in Barkin Ladi, Riom, Josau, Bokos, and Mangu local government areas have led to the death of about 250 persons and so many others injured, now receiving treatment in different hospitals in the state.
Even in the conventional war rules, you don't have to kill children. You don't have to kill women that are helpless. See children that are just but 1, 2 years. See the way they have been butchered. This is very uncalled for. And yet, I don't know whether the president is seeing all those things. I don't know whether the security people are seeing all those things. Why is it that they are not condemning it? President had never one day come out with a solution and said, this thing that is being done, this is the solution. What is the capacity of our military? I don't think we're up to 70,000 in army. Over 180 million people. Where is the justice?
The lawmakers also advocated a fast track of the Police Reform Bill and the Peace Reconciliation Commission bills presently before its committees.
Some people are fearing about the abuse of this. They are fearing because we have not been able to decide how to make sure that it's not abused. So if we're able to come articulate processes and procedures that will ensure that this is not abused, I think that will go a long way in resolving this problem. So that each state will have the type of police they need, the number of police.
You will recall that about 200 people were killed in the deadly attacks in the Plateau region of Nigeria. And Senate President Bukola Saraki is seeking collaboration of the State Houses of Assembly to support the amendment of the 1999 Constitution to provide for state and community policing in the country. Saraki made the appeal when the 30C State Assembly speakers, led by its chairman and speaker of the Gombe State House of Assembly, Abdul Muminim Kamba, visited the Senate for passing a bill which granted financial autonomy to the state legislators. According to a statement read by Special Assistant on Print Media, Chuks Okocha, Saraki stressed that state and community policing has become imperative due to the rising security challenges plaguing the country. And now the Senate has called on the Nigerian Police and the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, to investigate the circumstances surrounding the explosion of a tanker laden with premium motor spirit petrol in Lagos on Thursday last week. Report says the Senate plans to meet with the FRSC and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, to seek amendment of extant laws needed to check accidents involving articulated vehicles. You will recall that a tanker carrying 33,000 liters of petrol had crashed, emptied its content, and exploded on the Otedola Bridge end of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway last Thursday, with 12 confirmed deaths and 54 vehicles burnt in total. And our Senator representing Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, has revealed plans by aggrieved members of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Kaduna State to leave the party. He said the new APC National Chairman, Adams Oshomole, assumed office at the time it had become too late to reconcile them with the party. According to him, party leaders, including President Muhammadu Buhari, have proved incapable of handling the crisis. The senator explained that the word local government and state congresses in Kaduna State were flawed, and that complaints he and other party members lodged were ignored by the Chief John Odije Oyegun-led National Working Committee. He also stressed that to further compound the already bad situation, the immediate past party leadership went ahead to inaugurate the executive committees which emerged from the flawed Congress in APC. Still on the news, the Muslim Rights Concerns Group, MURIC, says President Muhammadu Buhari's interest lies in the progress for Nigeria and the welfare of the Nigerian citizens. MURIC Director Ishaq Akintola, who disclosed this, reaffirmed the group's commitment to the Buhari-led administration, saying it is and it has the political will to fight corruption and punish offenders in the country. According to MURIC Director, the organization's stand is not about any close relationship or acquaintance, but about the president's integrity. He also urged Muslims not to shy away from politics, saying that some politicians are earning 29 million naira monthly, while the poor workers are getting 18,000 naira as minimum wage. And now the Edo State government has announced a new policy to regulate waste management that will effectively clean up and review of weekly environmental sanitation across the state. The State Commissioner for Environment, Alonge Oniokpako, who disclosed this, said the government will continue to sensitize the people and other stakeholders on the need for having a cleaner environment.
We needed the inhabitants to also understand that there are some things that they can't do. In the dry season, if you take your waste and put it outside your house, waiting for waste managers to come and clear it, it is clearable. But in the rainy season, before the waste managers come, there are lots that water has taken away. So we are sort of sensitizing them. There was a sensitization program that the waste management agency had 2 weeks ago. That sensitization was basically done around major areas and streets to basically tell people what they needed to do, preparing for the heavy rains that we know are coming. So the government's press release was just, an addition to that, to reach out to more people to let them know that this is what we have.
In the same vein, officers and men of the Nigerian Army came out in groups to clean the state. The Army Public Relations Officer in Benin, Mohammed Maidawa, said the exercise is carried out to give back to the community. He also cautioned residents to be wary of illegal act of dumping waste, maintaining that anyone found wanting will be prosecuted by the law. And now the United Nations Children's Education Fund, UNICEF, hopes to attract an additional 1 billion girls in the North to school under its Girl Education Project 3 scheme in Nigeria. UNICEF's education specialist Azuka Menkiti disclosed this at a two-day media dialogue on Girls for Girls initiative organized by the Child Rights Information Bureau of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture in Zamfara State. According to her, about 15,303 girls have been enrolled under the projects in the three states, maintaining that UNICEF is targeting to retain girls who have been enrolled in schools in the north in class. The G4G project is a component of the Girls Education Project Phase 3 being implemented in Bauchi, Katsina, and Zamfara State. And now the police spokesman, Jima Moshood, has revealed some suspects in custody over the Plateau killings where 84 people died after attacks by suspected herdsmen in some villages. Those named are Balaminu Abdullahi, Suleiman Saleh, Muhammadu Kabiru, Aminu Muhammad, Alasan Saidu, Abubakar Adam, Ghazali Isa, Hamza Inusa, Yuya, Dahiru Ahmed, and Friday Musa. The exhibits allegedly recovered from the include AK-47 of 5 types and 2 live cartridges. The police also said the security forces has improved in the Plateau state, especially in the wake of the attacks. You're watching Superscreen News at 6. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some business stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to Superscreen News at 6, reaching you live from Lagos State, Nigeria. And now for some business stories. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC, is planning to raise money from the capital market to finance all projects across the country. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiku, and the Group Managing Director of NNPC, Maikanti Baru, disclosed this at the ongoing 2018 Nigeria Oil and Gas Conference in Abuja. While speaking on plans by the national oil firm to increase investment in the oil sector, Baru said the corporation is seeking more funds to develop oil projects in the country. He said the government has issued an updated oil and gas policy and initiated the process for enacting a new petroleum industry governance bill that provides clarity to government institutions and other roles in the society. The Chairman, State Committee on Ecology and Climate Change, Bukar Abba, has advocated for the adoption of renewable energy to check climate change impacts on the country. The lawmakers representing Yobe East Federal Constituency disclosed this at the launch of the Just Energy Transition organized by the Environmental Rights Action of the Earth Nigeria in Abuja. Abba said the time for the country to embrace cleaner energy is now, thus the need to shift investments from fossil to renewable energy. He also promised to sponsor a bill for an act in the National Assembly on energy transition, maintaining that energy transition is a must-have for Nigeria. Still in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has injected a sum of $210 million into the interbank foreign exchange market. The Acting Director, Corporate Communications Department, CBN, Isaac Okorafo, who disclosed this, reassured the public that the bank will continue to intervene in the interbank forex market in line with its quest to sustain liquidity in the market and maintain stability. He said the new supply is part of efforts to ensure liquidity in the forex market in order to meet customers' requests in various segments of the market. He also said the CBN offered $100 million to unauthorized dealers in the wholesale segment of the market, while the small and medium enterprises segment received the sum of $55 million. It also said the customers requiring forex for invisibles such as tuition fees, medical payment, and basic travel allowances were also allocated the sum of $55 million in total. And still in the oil and gas, the Nigerian Navy ship NSS Delta has destroyed about 1,500 illegal refineries with the swamp bogey in Delta Creeks in the last 2 months. The commander of the ship, Commodore Ibrahim Dewu, who disclosed this to journalists in Warri, said the destruction exercise was carried out in the creeks of Utumara, Ogbegugu, Ukuku in Warri. He also said the perpetrators had devised means of preventing the soldiers and the swamp bogey from gaining access to the site by blocking the new entrances with logs or setting fire around the site. However, the commander maintained that their antics will not deter the soldiers from carrying out their statutory obligation of completely eradicating illegalities in the maritime sector. We'll take another break now. When we return, it'll be time for us to take some foreign stories plus give you some sports news. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information.